Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from yourblackworld.com, and many of you know about the case of Gabriela Calhoun. Gabriela Calhoun is an 18-year-old young woman who attends Wiley College. She lives in Bloomington, Illinois, and she had a pretty ugly altercation with the police. Basically, I've concluded from what I've researched that she was probably racially profiled. An officer grabbed her. She reacted naturally, by saying, "Kind of get off me." And next thing you know, she was knocked unconscious and had her teeth knocked out. And this case concerned me. I heard about this case through Yolanda Spivey, our social justice coordinator. And it bothered me, and we did the research. And I've just concluded that this is something that we need to look into more deeply. And so for those who are skeptical, naturally, which you should be, I wanted you to hear directly from Gabriela so she could tell her story in her way. I feel that that's probably the best way for people to gain their own insight and come to their own conclusion. So I've got Ms. Calhoun on the phone right now. How are you doing today, Gabriela?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well, very well. And you allowed me to call you Gabby, even though your mom told me she calls you Ella. So I hope it's okay if I call you Gabby every now and then. Is that okay?
Yes, that's awesome.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Gabby, I just to give people background, from what I've seen, you're not a thug. You're not somebody who gets in trouble. You hadn't ever had anything like this happen before. I was actually impressed with the fact that you graduated from school a semester early, which anybody that knows me knows that I get excited about academic excellence among our kids. You're actually in college. Are you on a singing scholarship? Is that what your mom told me?
Yes, I actually joined the choir this semester. We have one of the best choirs at the college I attend. So yes, I am on a choir scholarship. I got a full ride scholarship to join the choir this semester.
Wow. And I talked to your mom, and your mom, she seems like somebody that pushes to run a tight ship with her kids. You have an older brother that's on his way to medical school. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you have a good, strong family. You've had good parental guidance. And so this was probably a situation you probably never thought you'd be in. Am I right about that?
Yes, you actually are very right.
Okay. So why don't we? And I wanted people to kind of hear that part so they can kind of get the foundation here. And I think that's relevant, because different people make different choices, which puts them in different situations. My conclusion is that you're not a person that would put herself in this kind of situation, and I think that's important for people to know. Now, why don't you, kind of start from the beginning and just take your time and kind of tell us, how the night went, what was going on, and how we got to the point where the police interaction took place. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Well, on the night of June 29th, there was a party going on at Lucky Gardens that me and all of my friends, we attended to. The party went very smoothly. We all had a great time. There was no altercations, nothing wrong went down at the party. I want to say the party ended around 1. Everybody was outside, saying bye to their friends. It was tons of people. Parking lot was filled. Everybody got to leaving and everything. Me and my party of about 17 people, we walked right over to Denny's, which probably was not even a 2-minute walk, and decided to get a late-night dinner. So the waitress sat us down. We sat on the right side of Denny's so we could see, the view of the parking lot, very clearly. And probably about 2 or 3 minutes into that, talking down, sitting to our friends, ordering our drinks, there was a huge altercation outside. And at the time, you couldn't tell who, was all a part of it, but it came to the fact that there was 2 females, and one of the females had came into Denny's, and assuming she was going to get her face cleaned, and an officer had came in, and he had asked our party if we could please leave the premises. And one of my friends spoke up and let him know that we had nothing to do with this altercation that just went down. The police, he was very cool about it, and he was like, all right, that's fine, and he just left out. Now, during the time, the girl is still in the bathroom. The other participant who was a part of the fight, she had came into Denny's. And you could tell that she has been maced because she kept saying, I can't see, I can't see. And she had a friend on both sides of her, left and right, and somebody behind her, guiding her to the bathroom. And there was kind of like a couple other people behind her, but not, helping her to the bathroom. And as she was moving her way to the bathroom, the other young woman had came out of the bathroom, seen her enemy, and they began to fight again. And there was a fight that did happen in Denny's, and I don't even want to say it was a minute long. It was just a huge fight, and everybody scattered. Now, after that, another officer had came in and said, now it's really time for you guys to leave. We need all you guys to get out. Another friend of mine spoke up and said, once again, we had nothing to do with the fight. Why are we the ones that have to get out? And he said the manager said that he wants all of you guys out, mainly me and my whole party. So
okay, let me jump in. Let me jump in and ask you a quick question as a clarifying point. Did they tell everybody they had to leave? Like, did Denny's tell every single customer they had to go?
No, it was just my party. The people that I had with me.
Just your party. So just your party at your table.
Yes.
Now, do you think that, did they ask a lot of white people to leave too, or was there sort of a racial dividing line there? You think, or was it just sort of like your table and that was it?
I want to say it's racial profiling because they knew that they knew we went to the party. Obviously we were all dressed up and everything. And like I said, we didn't just sit at one table. We were spread out, but we were all in the same area. And they asked me and my friends, all the people who were with me, all of you, we all need you guys to leave. Like, the manager said he wants you out, stuff like that. And there was other people from the, neighborhood or, from, the city that was eating there because I've seen them. And I live right behind Denny's. I go there all the time. I order from them all the time. So, yes, it was just they wanted us out of there in general.
Okay. So let me ask you, and I want you to continue, but I want to make sure people understand, what's going on here. So, did you know these girls who were fighting?
Did I know the girls who were fighting?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I've never.
Okay, so these are not. So not only were you not involved in the fight, but you didn't even know the young ladies that were in the fight. Like it wasn't like, oh yeah, that was Nikisha and Tiffany fighting. And I when I wasn't in the fight. Like, so you weren't in the fight. You didn't know the women that were fighting. You had nothing to do with this. Am I right?
I didn't have nothing to do with this. The people I was with had nothing to do with this. I'm saying it was so many people. Of course I'm from Bloomington. There's familiar faces, but there's so many people that, from Indiana or Joliet, in inner cities here. I didn't know. I've never seen these girls, so no, I had nothing to do with the fight. It was just, yeah.
No, please continue the story. I just wanted to make sure people understood that there's no reason. I mean, the only connection that I'm seeing is that, okay, you said they saw that you went to the same party. I mean, if we wanted to be sinister, we could say that, the fact that you're black maybe played a role, but I'm not sure. I mean, were most of the people at the party African American?
Yes, majority of people.
Okay. And you said the police, when we talked earlier, you mentioned that the police were there before the party. Like they were just kind of waiting to see if something happened. Is that right?
Yes, and I personally got off work early and on my way home, there's an officer in front of us the whole time. And I was thinking to myself, I really wonder where they're going because they, I stayed right in the same direction of everything. And they pulled in the parking lot and they were there before, anybody was at the party. Period. So they were already in the parking lot.
Okay, so effectively, this party had kind of been profiled. We don't know if it relates to race or not, but this is interesting. This sounds a little bit like what happened at USC recently, and you probably don't know about the story, but there was a party with a group of black students, and they were celebrating their graduation. There wasn't any wilding out, no gang banging or anything like that, because that kind of stuff it happens in Los Angeles. but yet the police were kind of there just looking for something to go wrong. And I find that interesting because if they did that to every party, held by every high school student, every college student in the country, you'd find a lot of things happening in a lot of parties. And it's interesting to me that that despite being under the careful, watchful eye of the police department, everything still went smoothly. Am I right? You said you were filled to the capacity. There wasn't any drama. Is that accurate?
That's 100% true because I was in the party. I witnessed everything, and even at a point in time when I had stepped outside, there were officers on the side of the building. It had to be either 2 to 3. I don't remember exactly, but they were even there. And that's one thing I really want to get clear. Nothing happened inside the party. The building was closed down. Everybody was out of the building. I want to say probably around 1 o'clock, 1:15. The building was shut down. The party was over. So by the time everything got to, the fight that broke out, that has nothing to do with the party because the party was over with. It was already established. The doors were closed. The doors were locked. That happened. And it wasn't even on the party premises. It was in Denny's parking lot. So I really wanted to make that clear. The party was fun. Okay. Everybody had a blast, and nothing happened in the party.
Okay, that helps a lot. So not only did you have nothing to do with the fight, but the party had nothing to do with the fight. And so what's interesting to me too here is that it reminds me a little bit of the Trayvon Martin case, that sometimes things happen because you're forced to interact with the police. Like, if the police followed me around everywhere I went and were always looking for something to go wrong and were always in my face questioning me, grabbing me for no reason, then that increases the chance that an altercation is going to occur. So what I'm really hearing is that if they hadn't somehow made the conclusion that you were connected and decided to bother you, then none of this would have happened. So now, with that said, I want you to go ahead and start off where you were before I jumped in. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to make sure these points were clear. Can you finish? Tell me what happened after the second time when the police came and told you all that you had to go.
Okay, yes. The officer came in and said everybody had to go. So he picked up a young man. And I honestly felt it was because he probably wasn't moving fast enough for him. He didn't want to conversate, So everybody got to leaving, and I grabbed the young man by his side. So my left hand, was on his back on his side, and we were walking. And that's when, and I'm going to make this very clear, I felt a grip on my neck. And out of, so many people, a fight just broke out. It was no telling who was behind me or what was going to happen to me, and out of reaction, I turned around, and I pushed whoever it was. And it was an officer. Now, I have to make that very clear, and that's exactly what happened. And I felt that he was very in the wrong because why grab me from behind and just expect me to know, or just expect me to turn around or, not react or, it's like so much stuff was going on that night, it was no telling what was going to happen. And then from that point on, I don't remember anything that happened. I just remember waking up on the ground, and first thing I did was I just started spitting out blood, and my tooth came, like you just seen, this spit, just spitting out blood in my teeth. And I felt as soon as I started spitting, and the lady cop who was on me seen I was up, it's like she wanted to put me back to sleep because she choked me. I'm talking about choking to the fact the only thing I was thinking in my head is like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. If she does not stop choking me, I feel like I was really finna die. And
was she choking you with her hands, with the billy club? Like, how was she choking?
I want to say her hands, because if you choke somebody from behind, it has to be a pressure point on your neck, so to the point you can't breathe, on the front of your neck. So it had to be your hands, because a billy club, it can't wrap around. So yeah, and after she let me go, I was like, go ahead, sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize. I had to know. So when she was choking you, were you on the ground still when she was choking you, or had you stood up by then?
Yes, I was laying on my stomach. My hands were. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I was arrested by then, but I really couldn't tell, but because she was on my back. But yeah, my hands were behind my back. I couldn't move, and I was laying on my stomach.
Okay. Please continue.
Okay. And, so I had told him, like, ma'am, can you please stop choking me? I was like, I have asthma. She told me, no, I don't care that you have asthma. You hit my officer. You hit my officer. And there's three things I told myself I would never forget. That she choked me. She kept asking me, how was the party? And she asked me this question so many times to the fact I was like, why is this question so important? It's like every time she asked me how was the party, it was with force. Like, it's like she was trying to prove a point or get something across. And I didn't understand why that was so important. She would be like, how was the party? And, just like something that was funny, you understand? Like, and it was confusing to me. Why was that so important? And that was going on, and I had looked down at my shirt, and my left cleavage area was hanging out. And I told him, like, ma'am, whatever you do, I'm like, can you please just pull up my shirt? Because I knew my friends were outside. I knew it were people still outside, and boys, girls and all types of stuff. And she told me no. She made me get up, humiliate. Like, that was so humiliating to me to walk in front of people that I see on a daily, to have them look at me like that. You understand? And she made me get up, and I walked from the front of Denny's all the way to the left side. So it was like an L, an L shape, and stood at the police car. And let me remind you, my handcuffs were so tight that my wrists were bruised and swole. I'm talking about red and purple. And she looked at me and told me, pull up your shirt. And I'm like, I can't. She's like, oh, you can. And I tried on my hands behind my back. I tried to use my left hand and my right arm to push up, and it didn't work. But when I did it from my left side, I forced myself to get my hands to pull up my shirt over my cleavage. And if somebody was to ask me to do this today, I probably couldn't. But I was such in a panic, like I didn't want to stand outside like that. I had to do it. So like
So I have to jump now. I'll admit, every time you told me this when we talked the other day, and every time I hear it, every time I think about it, I become very angry because, as I told you, I have a daughter that's the same age as you, and so what I'm hearing, I want to make sure we reiterate this so people can understand what happened here. Okay, so you're telling me that after this officer grabbed your neck, and you reached around, like get off me, like anybody would. You woke up, you're spitting your teeth and spitting blood onto the ground. And not only knocking you out is not enough, the officer is still choking you. You tell the officer that you have asthma and you cannot breathe, and she says, I don't care that you have asthma, which said, I don't care if you die right now. And then to make it worse, she forces you to walk across a crowded restaurant in front of all of these people with your breast exposed. I mean, is that right?
It's not right, and that's what I told myself. No matter what happens, if I was to lose all the memory in my mind, I told myself I will remember those three things. I honestly, truly felt like when she seen that I woke up, she tried to. Matter of fact, let me back up. I feel like I didn't deserve to get hit with a billy club. That was from witnesses and from a stand view that I would have never knew because I was unconscious to what other people seen. It's like you wanted to knock me out, and when you seen I woke back up, it's like you wanted to choke me back to sleep just so I feel like she thought that I wouldn't remember anything. But I told myself I would not forget the fact that you made me get up, humiliate myself with my breast exposed, and constantly kept asking me how was the party, and then tell me, no, I don't care that you have asthma. You hit my officer. Like, those were the three things you can ask my mom. I told her I would not forget, and I would have to make those clear because I remember them, and it will always be a memory because that was just so wrong. And like, I know there's many ways to handle this situation, but it's like she was trying to it's like she was mad, like she was letting her anger out on me, like I really did something, to that standpoint. So yes, she did, and I remember it.
Okay. So let's continue forward. so people can hear the whole story. And I'm gonna try not to be mad here. I want to make sure people hear this. And by the way, I think there are a lot of people who support you. We've had well over 100,000 people, read the articles we put up about you. Also, we've even got letters from people as far as New Zealand, who sent letters to the Bloomington Police Department asking for a thorough investigation. And I think people should also know my father was a police officer for 25 years. I don't know if I told you that, but and we respect good police officers. You come from a good family. You didn't grow up hating cops. So this is not a vendetta against police officers. This is a matter of expecting that they at least be responsible with the power that they have. And so I want to ask you, so they had you in the police car, and they took you to jail at that point? Is that what happened next?
Yes.
Okay, and how long were you in jail?
I was in jail I don't honestly know the exact time I got there, but I knew it had to be around 3. So Sunday 3.
Wait, 3 hours or 3? Oh, the time.
No,
okay.
3 a.m., sorry. I had to get there around probably Sunday around 3 a.m., and I got out Monday around 5:50-ish. I was out of there before 6 o'clock, but it was near 6 o'clock.
Okay, and when you were in jail, and now we showed people pictures of you before this happened, and they could see you had a great smile and everything else, and so now that's changed, and you're in jail, so you've lost some of your teeth, you have the blood clot, you've been knocked out cold, you had an officer that had restricted your breathing, you've got asthma. And so did they offer you medical attention? How did that go as far as you getting the help you needed to deal with your injuries?
The officers, they said they offered their, pills. So I don't take pills. And I said, I don't need any pills. I don't take pills. And they left it at that. As I went to the top, to my cell, I had asked for an ice pack and, of course, a toothbrush and everything. And I didn't receive any of that till the next morning, and it took them hours to get it to me. So I guess I did have to ask for the ice pack every time and some ointment for my face to, start trying to heal my scars. So I did receive my ice pack and ointment, but at the time of the night, as soon as I got there and asked for it, I didn't receive it till the next morning, which I had to ask for again because obviously the officer had to forget or, didn't want to get it for me.
Okay. Now, now that people have heard, what happened to you that night, right from you, I want to ask you, I want you to honestly tell me, how do you feel? How do you feel about what happened with your teeth? How do you feel about that night? What have you gone through? You shared some of that with me, and I think people should know, just the emotions that you felt since that incident took place. Okay,
well, if anybody knows me, and if you don't and you see my pictures, I am one of the happiest people. I always smile, I always laugh, and I have friends that tell me you laugh for no reason. And, jobs, they always love my smile. That's what really, forces me to do everything I did. I love to smile. I know my smile can brighten up people's days because people have told me that before, and now, when I got my teeth, knocked out my mouth, it really hurt me bad because I never wanted to smile. When people would talk to me, I literally put my hand over my mouth, and it's not like I thought about let me put my hand over my mouth. It was just a reaction, and even when close friends had to bring it out to me, I'd be laughing or talking to have my hand over my mouth, they'll tell me, Gabby, can you please stop? Just be regular. And I'm and it never really hit me until people had to tell me the things that I were doing, and it really does bother me. I haven't took a picture yet since the incident. My teeth, they really make me sad because even though they are, they're fake and the dentist can do whatever, in store for them that they're supposed to do, it's still they'll never be the same. I had 3 weeks. I can't eat regularly. I have to just chew slow. I had to learn how to re-talk again and, get used to these teeth that I have now, and it really does bother me. Like, I haven't took a picture since then, and looking back at, all the photos going around and all my old pictures and, things like that, I just miss the way I used to be. And not even that, like, I still have scars on my face, and, medicine, they heal. Like, a lot of them are, gone, but I still have the big one that's on my forehead. I still have the one that's under my nose, and I never, imagined myself to look like this. I've always been, real, careful about how I looked and, how I dressed myself. And now it's just things are not the same. Like, when you see me, I'll still, give off a great, vibrant feeling. I'm still a great person, but I know I'm emotionally traumatized. And I always wish, things like this would never happen, but it did. But I do wish, I had my smile back and my regular face back. And people, they can see the pain in my face, especially my mom. She always tells me all the time, like, keep your head up. And that's the vibe I get off. But it's like when they really know me, they can tell that I'm not the same person who I once was.
Well, I talked to your mom, and your mom is she's a great woman and a very strong woman and a very passionate woman. And, and we both agreed that God let you have this experience for a reason. And my argument, my belief is that there are people that are going to benefit from your sacrifice. And, the same way Rosa Parks had to go to jail for taking the stand on the bus, or, and then sometimes we have situations where fate just calls us into something that we didn't even sign up to be a part of. I really think that there are going to be people that benefit from what you went through. We've already seen the Bloomington, Illinois Police Department. They're reacting differently now that they know that people know what happened to you. They're when the lights come on, they will just scatter, and we have shined the light on them. And now, even when they sent over that little press release, we could tell that they wrote that press release in response to the article that we put out about your situation. So they're backpedaling. I think they know they did wrong. I think that they know that they're going to have to pay, and I want them to pay, and I'm going to stand by you. And so I back up what your mom said. You got to keep your head up. You cannot let this beat you down. Tough situations are built to make you stronger, and so the way you gain that strength is you confront it head on. I'm really, really proud of you. As I told you, I think I became naturally acclimated to this because you remind me of my daughters, and so I think that's why I also get angry, because if they did that to one of my kids, I'd be ready to be going there and beat somebody down. And so I just want to encourage you to keep doing your thing. Keep studying hard, keep being successful, keep smiling. Things change, yes, but your smile is always going to be beautiful no matter what, and keep being a beautiful person, because I personally am very, very proud of you, Gabby. So I just want you to know that.
I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to keep my head up. Nobody will see me down. I know that's what people want. Some people out here, they want to see you like that. They want to see you sad. But like I said, no matter what, I still laugh. I'm still happy. But, it's just a thought that you will always have in the back of your head if something happened to you, especially like when you walk past the mirror. But I'm happy. I feel great. And I'm doing whatever it takes because I know something good is coming soon. And like my mom said, the God is in store, because ever since that day, he's really been truly a blessing. I've been seeing, everything with my own eyes, and I'm thankful. I thank him every morning, because anything else could have went down different, but I'm still here, and I'm just really happy.
Yes, it could have gone different. I'll tell you, I think the best thing about it is that a lot of this happened in front of a lot of people, and a lot of those people respect you and love you so much that they're willing to testify to support you. So this isn't over yet. You had your rough moment, but now you've got a coalition that's as big as a beast that is going to go, come after that police department and make them accountable for what they did. So girl, we got your back. All right.
All right. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
All right. So thank you, Gabby, and also to those who are listening from Your Black World, thank you so much for checking us out. And remember that when you face injustice, stand up strong. Don't be afraid. and always keep moving forward. So until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.
Thank you.